Hey guys, what's up? Is your boy Damage here, back again, once again, for another live team building session. So, basically what this series is I'm just making a team from scratch in the game Toho Puppet Dance Performance, or TPDP for short, specifically in the Shard of Dreams extended mod. I see people in the TPDP community ask something along these lines: how do I team build? This this video is just meant for me, basically I'm just recording myself, kind of just rambling to myself out loud, maybe throwing in some insightful tips of my own. Maybe y'all watching this can gain some insight while I'm kind of just rambling on to myself, to be honest. So speaking of tips, one tip that I'll always give to new players playing not only just Toe Puppet Dance Performance, but Pokemon or just games like this in general is when you're deciding what you want, how do I start team building? The first piece of advice I would give to someone is just start from somewhere. Pick a puppet or pick a core of puppets. Basically, my first piece of advice is just start from somewhere. Doesn't matter where, but just start from somewhere, because that at least gives you a foundation to start on, and you could start building on that foundation as you progress towards your team building. And if you want to scrap like the rest of your idea, but still want to keep on going with this foundation, then you could at least come back to that, if that makes sense. Now, speaking of a place to start, I will say this is something that I haven't really done, but I'm going to take someone's comment, and basically this video is just based off of someone's comment in the comment section below. So yeah, if you put a comment down below, I might make a team around that, but it depends on the puppet, because what I typically want to do is I want to build around puppets that I haven't used that much, or rather, I want to build around concepts that I haven't really explored as fully, because even though I've played this game for roughly 4 years now, I'm still... Well, to be fair, this community is kind of like it's a really small community, so there isn't really that much to play off of people and, like, you know, get valuable data off. But actually, no, I'm not gonna say that other points. Anyway, so this is the comments that I got. So yeah. So we're gonna be building on Power Junko, and I will say Power Junko is a bit of an interesting case, because in my experience, there's a lot of ways you could build around Power Junko. I think most of the time I've seen Power Junko be built kind of similar to, like, Offensive Tyranitar, if that makes sense, because I've mostly seen, like, Dragon Dance or Rock Polish with Weakness Policy, which can be kind of cool. And I know myself, when I tried to build around Power Junko, I mostly tried to build around Power Junko kind of like in a Snorlax-esque fashion, basically running Curse, Dual Stab, and Rest, because this thing has really good defensive stats and an okay defensive typing. Like, there are some notable weaknesses that it has, but it does have a myriad of resistances, so I try to take advantage of that. However, I want to build around Power Junko in a bit of a different manner, because I do think there's a lot of possibilities you can go with this. And what I decided to do is basically just give it a choice band, because I do think that this kind of stat line could make a choice band set pretty interesting. Power Junko does have the natural bulk to switch into moves and can threaten Pokemon with a base 125 attack stat, and I thought that would be cool to... I think that would be kind of cool to start with. But before I do that, I want to... I wanna write this down in a Google Doc just so you all can, like, maybe, hopefully follow along, but the goal is to build around Power Junko. And I want to give her a choice band. Now, because I want to give her a choice band, or because I'm opting to go more on the offensive side, what I want to do to complement this offensive Power Junko set is I want to find puppets, or firstly, I want to find puppets that resist the combination of light and warp, because I think that's what I'm mostly going to be... I think what I'm going to do with this Power Junko set is mostly just give her light and warped moves, and then maybe from there, perhaps from there I would find... Okay, wait, let me backtrack a bit. Apologies. So what I want to do is, after, or what I want to do first is, I want to... How can I say this? I want to find puppets that resist the combination of light and warp, because those are going to be... Because I'm mostly just going to be clicking her stabs. Find what resists the combination of light and warped, and then find puppets that threaten those opposing puppets, if that makes sense. So, I think what I'm going to do first is... Well, I'm going to... get rid of all this, is... Well, I'm going to use this site, which you can find in the description down below. Oh, as well as the original document for my what I use for team building. I'm gonna link both of these in the description down below. But what I'm going to be using is this site called exdollalice.com, which, for the purposes of this video, this site basically has a nice search function, which allows me to just search puppets through, like, various type resistances and stuff like that. The site also has some really interesting functions. Like, it has, most notably, it has its own damage calculator. But I mostly like using this search function because, for one, this site is only in Japanese, so it's a little bit hard to work with at first. But out of my experience of, like, messing with the site, this is the site that I know how to use roughly the best, because it's pretty simple to use. So, if this site could... Okay, so for the purposes of this site, I want to find puppets that resist the combination of light and warped. And then this returns me, like, what the list of puppets that have that resist this type combination. So for the most part, I'm seeing some warps, I'm seeing some poisons, I'm seeing some lights as well. From what I'm seeing, I think it's mostly... From just getting a rough look at this, I think I would want something that... handles warps, poisons, and lights from the look of everything. I'm seeing some fightings too. Maybe that might be something I have to think about. But I think, for now, I think I would want offensive pieces that threaten bulky warps, poisons, fightings, and lights that resist Power Junko. Now, question is, what would I want? Because I'm seeing, like, poisons and fightings, maybe I could go for an offensive wind type. Maybe that'd be something that would be cool. Though, maybe I'd want a wind type that doesn't really mind switching into warped. Maybe, I don't know if there's a wind type with InSync. Maybe I don't have to worry about fightings that much. I will say this is the part in the video where it gets a little bit awkward for me, because I'm not entirely sure what I would want. This is a little bit of an open-ended prompt, just having something that resists, or just have something that threatens bulky warps and poisons. I think at the moment, because I see warped and poison here, maybe I think I want to go for an offensive poison, because that at least like switches into these guys, and that could threaten them in return. Or I mean, maybe I could try to find something that threatens. Maybe I could try to find a poison that threatens opposing poisons in return. I'm just not entirely sure what I would want yet. And I think right now I would want it to be a special attacker, because I have a physical attacker. Oh wait. Got the wrong thing. Alright. So what do we have out of all these options? Power Sagame could be interesting. Extra Kurumi would be cool as well, but I mean, Kurumi could be nice for dealing with opposing findings, but she does take neutral from warped. Power Yuma could be cool as well. She does threaten opposing lights, but she is weak to light as well. Power Momio is actually really interesting because Poison Earth type threatens the Earth typing resists poisons as well, and not only that, but she quad resists poisons, so I think that'd be cool to see. Oh, wait. Actually, wait, no, this is Power Yuma. What is this? Wait, what is this? Oh, wait, no, this is Sega. This is Sega. Right, okay. This power is Sega. In which case, still a similar issue with Power Yuma. Actually, even a worse scenario than Power Yuma, because Nether is resisted by light, so I don't think I want Power Sega here. Assist Aiden would be interesting. She does resist light. She doesn't really threaten opposing poisons. Yamame would be cool, but I don't think I would want... I think in this scenario, I think I would prefer Momio over Yamame, just because Yamame is kind of like... It's kind of like a one-time thing, because she usually goes with like some set with Unburden and then just tries to go for game immediately. I think I would want something that has more consistent damage output rather than a single burst. Granted, I could run like Specs Infection on Power Yamame, but why would I do that when I could run Momio instead? I think out of these options, I do like Momio here the most, not going to lie. So I think I want to try Power Momio first and see what happens. And then from here... Oh wait, no, not Power Momio, Speed Momio. So I think I would want Speed Momio, and then from here I would want... From here I would want some speed control, because at least Speed Momio could be a nice breaker. Though I'm not entirely sure what I would want Speed Momio to run. I'm not entirely sure if I want to run Specs on her. Though that could be an option. But for now, I think I would want... I think I know what I would want. Not only do I want some speed control, but I would want something that threatens opposing lights. And I think in that respect, I would want something that has Scarf Pursuit, but I think ideally I would want a Scarf Pursuiter that isn't weak by illusion. So I want to see what options pop up here. Sometimes this site's a little bit awkward because not everything is translated on one go. So I'm gonna have to manually scroll for what I want here, which is a little bit annoying. Where's Pursuit? There it is. And I would want... Okay, so I would want something that has Pursuit, but I don't want the Pursuiter to be weak to illusion. That's the ideal scenario. Speed Maid would be nice. Power Dormy would be cool as well. There's extra Kana, no. Speed Sakya, actually. Wait. Speed Sakya might be fantastic. Because not only does Sakya have stat pursuit, but she also has U-turn, which is, I think, what I want here. Speed Sakya also has Steel Stab, which is also pretty neat. I think I definitely like Sakya here, because Sakya has what I want and more. Sakya has stat pursuit. Sakya has a good speed tier, which I could use a scarf to ensure that I outspeed a lot of things, and has U-turn. Yeah, I think I definitely like Speed Sakya here the most. And then from here, okay, I think from here we have like most of our grounds covered. Although maybe I would want something that threatens opposing fighting types, but I think this offensive core is okay for what I want. I could add another offensive piece, go for a more offense-oriented direction, but I think I want to go for more bulky offense because that's more my style of play. That's just what I mostly that's mostly what I like playing more. And what I mean by the differentiation between bulky offense and offense, to put it simply, just think about the ratio of defensive pieces to offensive pieces. Like, when you think of offense, it's usually something along the lines of four offensive pieces and then 2 tanks. Bulky offense is kind of like 50-50. Balance is like 4 walls, 2 offensive pieces. Hyper offense is like 5 offensive bunkuses and like a suicide lead, or like 6 offensive bunkuses. And then semi-stall could be like 5 walls and then 1 offensive piece, and stall is like 6 passive shits that just sit there. Anyways, enough about that rambling. Now that we have this offensive core established, I think what I would want next is, I definitely want, how can I put this? I definitely want some defensive pieces that cover these offensive type, that can cover these weaknesses, because if you've noticed, I didn't really consider type weaknesses when I added these offensive pieces, because I didn't really need to care for typings, because I was more so focused on breaking through my opponent's pieces rather than switching into offensive threats myself. But now that I'm in this position where I've established an offensive core, now I want to focus on defense personally. But before I go into that, I want to give an update on what I have put so far. Okay, now that I have my defensive pieces, I want defensive puppets that handle and yeah, we could start from there. Now, how I want to approach this is I want to utilize this site again, and what I want to do is find something that's ideally resistant to all of these types, but if I can't find something that resists all of these types, then I want to at least look for something that isn't weak to these types, and we could proceed from there. So let's look at all of these attribute compatibilities. I would want something that resists water, earth, what was it again? Water, earth, fighting, illusion, and sound. Alright, it's unfortunate we can't find something that resists all these types, but it's okay, because at the very least I want to find things that are neutral to these types and play from there. Let me see here. I don't like any of these puppets because they don't really have a good defensive profile, or any means of sustain for that matter, so I don't like any of these. Neither do I like any of these. Again, they don't really have a good defensive profile, so I don't really like any of these. No options there. Power Shizuha would be interesting because she offers spikes. Although, actually, yeah, Power Shizuha would be excellent here. Now, more I'm thinking about it. Assist Kogasa wouldn't be that bad as well, because she does offer spin. That's very interesting. Defense Dormy would be very interesting as well. Okay, we have options here. So, we have some really interesting options. So, there's a few options I can go with here. I could either go with Power Shizuha, because Power Shizuha offers spikes, which is really nice for facilitating the game plan of chipping down my opponents, so that Power Junko could get a good Oko, or that Power Speed Sakyo could clean up. But Defense Dormy is nice because more so because she's a good bulkier option. This is a really tough call. This is admittedly a really tough call because both of these options are really fantastic. In this case, so if I go with Power Shizuha, I would have to contend with switching in. I would have to contend with finding switch-ins for Fire, Earth, and Illusion. However, if I would go with Defense Stormy, then I'll have to find puppets that resist the combination of Fire, Earth, and Sound. I think I want to go with Defense Dormy, even though I might be potentially losing out on spikes, which is very unfortunate for me. I think finding switch-ins for Fire, Earth, and Sound would probably be more feasible than finding switch-ins for Fire, Earth, and Illusion. But I will say that this is one of those scenarios where there isn't really a correct choice to make, because, to be honest, both puppets have their pros and cons. Power Shizuha has access to Mind Trap, which is very nice for me, but Defense Stormy just offers more bulk and probably offers more answers to some types that I'm currently struggling with. So I think for now I will go with Defense Stormy and see what happens. But if I'm not satisfied with what comes next, then I think what I will do is probably backtrack a bit and go to Power Shizuha and see what happens. But again, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure like what I would want here. It's very tough. It's admittedly very tough. But for now, I think I want to go with Defense Stormy. And then from here I want to find switch-ins to Fire, Earth, and Sound. But ideally, I would want these switch-ins to have rocks or spin. I think I want to look for rocks first. But if I can't find something that has these resistances and has rocks, then I think I want to backtrack a little bit and see if I could find something with Fire, Earth, and Illusion, because I'll be using Power Shizuha. So we don't have anything that has that type resist combination and has spikes. So I think for now I want to look at Power Shizuha, and I want to see if there's anything that fits this criteria, which we do not. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I suppose it's not the end of the world. I think I'll try to look for a spinner first, and then see if I can find something that has Stealth Trap. So we have Shinboku Tobi. So out of these options, I do like Kogasa the most, but Extra Seiren isn't really that bad either because she has access to reliable recovery. However, Kogasa has access to Volt Switch. But what is nice about Assist Kogasa is that Assist Kogasa could be made Cisco Gus could be my specially defensive pivot, because right now my sole defensive pivot is only physical. I actually want to check out of curiosity. Do we have something that resists these types in the Smashman? Okay, we don't. So it seems that Power Shizuha will never be a good option for me in that case. So I think I want to go with Defense Dormy and go and proceed from there. Now from here, it honestly just depends on what I value more. Do I value more sustain, or do I value pivoting? And to be honest, the decision again is not really that clear to me. It is very unclear. I think what I would want here is probably the pivoting. I think that's what I want. But again, I'm not entirely sure like what I would want here. Cisco Gaza basically just covers all my bases. I want to see what I would do if I add an extra Saran. I would only be weak to water. Yeah, I think I'll go for Cisco Gaza because that definitely covers all my bases. And then from here, I would try to look for something that try to look for something that sets rocks, while also not being weak to all these typings that I still have weaknesses for. I think that would be ideal. So here's what I'll do. I'll try to find something that that has rocks. But I would want to find something that isn't weak to any of the types that I have overall neutrality against. So, pardon me. So I think what I would want is something that's not weak to fire, not weak to earth, not weak to sound, not weak to illusion, and not weak to nether or poison. And I see we have a myriad of options here. We can go Kotahime, we can go Defense Orange. Orange sounds pretty nice, just because... Defense Orange actually sounds a little bit nicer, because we do have... We can rock with like a Defense Dormy, Defense Orange core, which could be pretty cool. The problem is that Orange doesn't really have a means of pivoting, which is a little bit unfortunate. We can go with the second wind type, although I'm not entirely sure. Oh, wait a second, I just realized. One thing that I didn't put in the type thing is, I also want something that's not weak to warped. And that should definitely, yeah, that definitely cuts down a lot of my other options. Defense Tokiko would be nice, but I'm not entirely sure if I would want Defense Tokiko here. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I want Defense Tokiko here. SS Tay would be nice just because she'd be a little bit similar to Defense Orange. Not in the efficacy of how well she can tank, but she does have rocks and Volt Switch, which is pretty nice. Extra Momio would be cool here as well. That does give me Poison Heal, which would be really nice. I think out of all these options, I think I'm debating between either Defense Orange or Extra Momio. And to be honest, this decision kind of just boils down to, do I want... how can I say this? Do I want raw bulk, or do I want extra pivoting? And I think having a pivoting option would be ideal, because allowing Power Junko to come in safely and throwing out bandit moves would be what I would like here. So I think with that prospect in mind, I think I would like Extra Momio in this context. I think I definitely prefer extra Momio here. And I think with that, this kind of just rounds out everything. I'm not really weak to one specific typing, which I like. And I'll put all this down. Alright. So now that all of this has been decided, what I'm going to do next is... I'm going to go over to the save editor and basically just, basically just put the mons in this, in the save editor, and you guys can watch me do that. So, yeah. So, first off, I would want Power Junko. And I would want it to run a choice band. Luminous Flux, Overdrive, and I think this thing actually has access to a Luring Maze, which is kind of nice. And then from here, the fourth move could be nice. I could go for Toxic, to basically Toxic Mons on the Switch. But I think I like EQ just because EQ is just an overall good move. Next I would like Speed Momio. Actually, wait, no. I think I know what I want to do with Speed Momio here. This is something that I've seen. This is actually something that I first saw in the... in Bardo's Monocast tourney, and I think I want to try this concept again. So, it's basically Izanagi object Koryu's, Izanagi object with Kolte's Earth, but it has, it essentially has double ground move. Like, it's essentially mixed, with Stab Speed Momio, which is kind of cool. It's a little bit cute. This is definitely someone I want to try again, see how effective this kind of set is. Next we have Speed Sakuya. With a choice belt, because I do want some speed control on this. Brandish, Hallucination, Pursuit, Changeling. Next is Dormy, and actually, wait a second. I think I have a Dormy set saved already. Yep, I do. This is basically what I want. I think I'll go... Let's see. Is this Kogasa next? I think I would want her to have some physical bulk. I definitely want her to have, like, mixed bulk. I think that would be overall nice to have. So, like, max HP, max defense, but still have... And Warning Shot will carry her special bulk, because Special Intimidate is really good. And from here... Smash Spin, Lazy Miss, and I think I would want a stronger wind move. Maybe just in case. Something like Macro Burst could be nice. And then, And then Lightning Speed for pivoting, that would be nice. And then lastly, we have Momio. And I definitely want extra Momio. Max HP, max BDF to round out its bulk. I would definitely want rocks. Rocks. Shooting press. Changeling and protect. Rocks, EQ, volt, or not volt, U-turn and protect. Okay, everything looks good. So now what I will do is, you guys can't see it, but I'm going to initially take these mons out, and then I'm going to switch scenes. And then you guys can look at the team that I made. So, just as a recap, we have a bandit-powered Junko, running Luminous Flux Overdrive, Luring Maze, and Shooting Press. We have an Izanagi object, Koryu Speed Momio. We have a Scarf Sakya for speed control, and also because Pursuit Trapping is really nice. We have Boots, Defense Dormy. We have Bulky Spinner, this is Kogasa. And lastly, we have Rock's Extra Momio. And this is the team. And I'll see you guys once we actually get a match with this in the next video. So, later guys.